Speaking of writings on the wall, we have a celebrity in the building, an author in the building. He's going to give us a powerful guide on how we can start our own business. So anyway, Cassius, hey, what's up?
A new start for a new year.
Yes, man, yes. I need that.
Yeah, I know.
Holidays coming up.
There are many people who are listening to us, whether it's on Facebook or, in their cars, everybody has this desire to want to do something different, do something new.
You're right. But before we do that, let's tell the people they can actually find us on Facebook right now. 103 The Beat. We are actually live in studio, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're tuning in right now, just send a big shout out. Hit us up. 323-777 on the lines. We're actually going to be giving away $2 today. Yes. Mm-hmm. But we need y'all to just tune in because I ain't going to give you all the questions yet. Just tune in, okay? Let's hear this great story. So, yes, a new start into business.
A new start. And, we're talking about an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And basically an entrepreneur is somebody who really started and operate a business. But, there are some characteristics that surrounds entrepreneurs. Not everybody can be and will be an entrepreneur, but there are some special characteristics that an entrepreneur possesses. And we're going to discuss that right now.
Yes, I see a few in the book. It's on page 9 because I studied. I did my thing. Now, number 1 was great imagination.
Yes.
I think that speaks volume, but
yes,
explain, elaborate.
A lot of people who want to start a business, you got to have an imagination, a great imagination. You got to always be willing to think. You got to have that cutting edge perspective on everything. Mm-hmm. In other words, you got to see things that doesn't exist, or you got to see around the corner more or less.
But still have some reality in there.
Precisely, it's all guided by reality, mind you. But that great imagination is one of the foundations of being an entrepreneur. Case in point, you have people like Thomas Edison, right? And then you had Henry Ford, who saw the car. Yes. Thomas Edison, who saw the light bulb. All these people, even, when you sit down, you look at, in our time, you have like Mark Zuckerberg, these guys who saw how do we connect all of the college students together.
Or even
and we came with Facebook.
The FTX.
Yeah,
not to be dropsy, but that was
great entrepreneur.
Brilliant.
I mean, it didn't work out in the end, but I'm sure he'll do something different. But it's that spark, that idea, that gets you started. Now, once you have that idea, what's next? How do you now turn that idea from an idea in your mind to an idea on the paper to an idea in reality?
I like that. Levels to that.
That is where it is. And so we have to crystallize that idea, write down the paper, write it down, write down what you see. And I'm talking to Gio as well, who's sitting right next to us in studio. Gio, write your ideas down.
Gio, what you got to say to people then?
It's important for you to crystallize it on paper. Then when you see it on paper, you may be able to change it, tweak it, add to it, and so on. But what we're doing is we're conceptualizing what we have. We're taking the thought and making it the word. Who you targeting?
Right.
When you look at the market segment in certain jurisdictions like the Bahamas, they may be too small to sustain your business. And so really you'll be operating at a loss, but you didn't take the time to develop that. So you waste all this time putting all this energy into this business. You didn't write the plan out, so you didn't crystallize your market segments, you didn't look at the demographics, you didn't break it down into sections and say, listen, okay, how are we going to concentrate on these people? And then when you're looking at certain demographics, some demographics have more resources than others, and your demographics may not be able to sustain it because it's a small demographics. And so only until you begin to crystallize your business plan, you'll be able to identify those what they call gaps. And so those gaps, how do we fill those gaps? So if one market can't satisfy you, then are we going to spread into the wider Caribbean region and so on to be able to fill what you're doing? And so it's important for you to have this business plan because it gives you that roadmap. And sometimes we find ourselves in the middle of the jungle, we don't know where to go.
Right.
You pull out the business plan tell you, okay, turn left, not right.
But if you don't have that, you go in survival mode. Anything in sight you try to take down,
right. Yeah, that's correct.
And so, for a sailor, if you don't know where you're going, any wind is sufficient. In other words,
just pushing you and keeping going.
So you can go any direction because, you don't know where you're going in the first place. So we need to know specifically where we're going.
And speaking of that, I think rest is the next trait to be an entrepreneur. Now, I don't know. For me, I hear people say, sleep is for the weak. These motivational people like, do not sleep. And I'm like, okay, I got to keep going. Why am I sleeping? My bag's underneath my eyes. But then the second point in your book says rest. And I'm like, okay, why are we resting? We should be going at it. So explain why it's important.
Because rest is so important that God made it a commandment.
Whoa.
You understand?
Man, you gotta preaching. Yeah, tell me more.
Rest is so important. It is because He made it a commandment. If you don't rest, you will rest in peace.
Ooh.
Yes.
Because
you're a rapper, bars, and
what happened is that when you take time to rest, your body goes into rejuvenation process.
Yes.
Your mind regenerates ideas. You cannot generate new ideas without resting. And so sometimes people think we can burn the night all and we can go and go. And I remember one time I said, I can do it all night in college. And I stayed up all night, tripping, sleeping, dropping down, diving, count. Went into the exam, couldn't remember a thing.
Because you're sleepy, you just want to sleep now.
You understand?
Yeah, mind clouded.
Because I didn't rest.
Wow.
And so what happened is you got to understand that the story of the goose that laid the golden egg is very important. You know, the farmer went out and he found this goose, and this goose had golden eggs. The next day he went out, the goose had more golden eggs. So the farmer decided, okay, let me wake this goose. Come, wake some
Until the
up.
goose.
And so what he did was he cut the goose open to look for the golden egg. There was no golden eggs.
He what?
The issue is,
Sorry.
the body is the goose.
Right.
You're supposed to nourish it,
Yes.
refresh it, rest it, so that it can be ready to function. And so people who tell you that the rest is for the weak, that is not a good thing, because it goes against everything natural. Everything has to rest. Everything needs
on the seventh day he rested. It all makes sense now.
Because rest is important. Because human beings need rest. That's why he said rest for the Sabbath day, which is today.
Yes.
Supposed to do no work. You know why? It ain't for him, you know. For you.
Yeah, okay.
Because when you ain't doing nothing, you laying home, all your body cells and your brain cells are regenerating and rejuvenating, so that the next day, ideas popping up in your head and you're ready to go. But if you're waking all day, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, you ain't got no time to rest. You can't come up with no ideas because your brain ain't get time to reset.
Right.
That
No time to think.
You see? That is why rest is important for entrepreneurs. Even if you have a business, take time out to stop.
Listen, when I sleepy, I cranky and I'm miserable and I'm mad. You can't think when you're all them at once.
You know how much people functioning in the Bahamas today can't think because they have not rest?
That's true.
You know, they have not rest. They keep going. We all chasing the wrong things. If you stop sometimes, rest. The idea comes to your mind.
That's true. You be driving randomly, you just boom. Oh, that's a tale.
You see, because you need to rest. And that is why I put that in the books. And it's paradoxical because some people say, you know, as an entrepreneur, you got to wait 100 million hours.
That's why I brought that up. That was my favorite part.
No, man, come on.
Okay,
no.
Now.
So that's why.
I see the other traits and it says failure, but there's a quote in the book by Henry. And it says, problems or opportunity in working clothes. Man, explain that to me because I like that quote.
Yep.
You had a King Geo? Problems or opportunity in working clothes.
Yep.
By Henry.
You know, sometimes you have problems, you have issues, you have, you know, delays, you have setbacks. All of those things are disguised as opportunities to learn a new way of not doing it. You know, Thomas Edison, you know, who created the light bulb. One time he came home and all of his building had burned down, you know. And so when the fire department was there and he was walking through, you know, he said, Mr. Edison, all of your work was destroyed. He said, yeah, all my mistakes was gone too. So now it's an opportunity now to learn something new. You see? Yeah. So now you burn up all my mistakes. Now I can start afresh. And so those problems that come at you, they basically are opportunities in working clothes. In other words, what they do is they give you an opportunity to find out how to do things better. And so, you know, it's something called the law of entropy. I don't know if you heard of the word entropy.
No. Can you elaborate?
Entropy and atrophy is if you're in space and there's no friction against your body, your muscles develop muscular atrophy. You begin to lose the uses of your arms because your body doesn't have the gravity pulling against it. See, the reason why we don't develop it in Earth because we have gravity pushing down against us. You see?
Okay.
And so what it is it makes us stronger because we always have a force pushing against us. In business, if you don't have a force pushing against you, you won't get stronger. Remember now, the body is the only machine that is designed to get stronger the more it works. The mind as well too. The more you work it, the stronger it gets.
I like that one.
And so with business too, you'll always have opportunity, incidents and situations come at you. Those things are designed to make you stronger. And so people are afraid to take on challenges. You know, we have this in this modern term is, bullying. They have this new thing called bullying where you don't want to bully. If somebody touch you, you go, you run, you keep running. The issue with that for me is that if you keep running, you have no fight in you. In business, you have to have a fight because you have to fight for market share. You have to fight for positioning. You have to fight to make sure that you get your part. But, the world has taught our children today, do not fight, run. Run to the teacher. Do not run to the teacher. I mean, when we were growing up, we were taught to fight.
Yeah, but
But the point I'm trying to make, not for them to go fight, but you have to be able to stand your ground.
Yes.
Because what happens is the world is not easy. No. The law of the jungle is, the law of the jungle is?
Tell me.
Either you eat, or you eating.
Yeah.
That's
you
correct.
That's the law of the jungle.
But anyway, that means what goes around comes around. And speaking about that, let's take a short break right now. For the next hour, we got some more Cassius, okay? So don't go anywhere. Don't touch that button. It's 103 The Beat.
Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also follow our TikTok account. Thanks.